channel. This time we are in India because I was finally able to visit India after 2 years, and to make this even more special, we decided to take a family trip to Leh Ladakh. We took a direct flight to Leh from Mumbai, and in order to adjust with the altitude change in Leh, we had started taking a medicine called Diamox. It really helped us, so I would definitely recommend it, but please check with your doctor before you do so. Once we landed in Leh, we directly checked into a hotel which was right in the middle of the market. When choosing a hotel in Leh, I would definitely recommend staying near the market because there's not a lot of transportation available and you would end up spending a lot of money just to go to and fro in Leh. Once we were settled in, we walked around the market for a while, exploring the local handicrafts and textiles. For lunch, we decided to go to a restaurant called Rasoi, which was located at the very end of the market. This was gonna be our first momos for the trip, and I think it was definitely a good start. After lunch, we decided to stop and get some ice cream because ठंडी में ice cream खाने का मज़ा ही कुछ और है. This was the end of day 1 at Leh, and tomorrow was going to be the start of our road trip. So to begin this journey, we started with a 5-hour drive from Leh to Nubra Valley. The view along the road was just spectacular, and Leh Ladakh in general is just beautiful. We were also very lucky to experience snowfall on the way to the top. We planned this trip on our own and made all the bookings by ourselves as well. So I'll leave some notes and tips in the description so you can use that to plan your next trip to Ladakh. On our way to Nubra Valley, we drove through Khardungla Pass, which was going to be the highest point of this road trip before we began our descent towards the valley. The whole drive was just mesmerizing. Everything felt unreal. Such beautiful snow-capped mountain, curvy roads, and once we were closer to the descent and Nubra, we were surrounded by various colorful stone mountains. There were pink, purple, and various shades of brown around us. Halfway through our journey, we decided to make a pit stop for lunch. There weren't so many options, so Maggie was my best friend on this trip. Once we were in Hunda, we were surrounded by sand moving across the way from left to right. This was again just unreal to experience. Finally, after the long 5 hours, we had reached our destination and stay for the next 2 nights. We had booked 2 tents here at the Dova Deluxe Camp. We decided to end the night with some garma garam chai and kanda bhaji. The camp also had breakfast and dinner included because you're really not going to find anything near you at this location. The next morning, we started our journey on another long drive, and this time the destination was Toorak. This was also going to be a 5 hour drive to Toorak and then another 5 hours back to Nubra Valley. Make sure to carry your ID cards for this one because you'll need to show it when you want to enter Toorak Valley. Toorak is India's last village here in Leh, and from the viewpoint you can see the Pakistan border as well as a village in Pakistan at a distance. Like I mentioned, this is a 5 hour drive from Nubra Valley, and frankly, it's not really worth it. You can barely see the village and the border, and you will definitely need the binoculars to see this clearly. Feel free to skip this one on your trip to Ladakh. The next day was one of my favorite days in Ladakh because we were able to see the sand dunes at Nubra Valley. This was just majestic. I don't have enough words to describe how marvelous this place was, and I still pinch myself that I have actually had the opportunity to see this in person. This was our last night at Nubra Valley, and the next day we were going to start our drive to the most awaited destination of any Ladakh trip, Pangong Lake. The lake is actually called Lukung Lake in India, and that's what the locals refer it to as because Pangong is the Chinese name for the lake. We share this lake with the Chinese border, and only 30% of this lake is in India. The lake was hands down the best part of the Ladakh trip. It was something that the videos or the photos just do not do justice to. It was just pristine blue and it sparkled as the sun shined on it. Again, just mesmerizing. The climax of the Bollywood movie Three Idiots was shot here, and there are multiple scooters and bikes here to get photographs with and souvenirs to take back home. Pangong Lake was also freezing in the night, and it's one of the most cold places that we visited during this Ladakh trip. So here we are, all cozied up, enjoying our handy dandy chai. One night stay was enough at the Pangong Lake, so the next day we started our drive back to Leh, which was going to be another long 5 to 6 hours. On our way back, we drove through Changla Pass, which was another beautiful snow-capped mountain view. The next day was our last day in Leh, so we just relaxed and had the best Tibetan food and probably the best food of this trip. Definitely recommend this place in Leh. We enjoyed this food so much that we went there for lunch and dinner. So yeah, highly recommend. The next morning, we took an early flight back, and that was the end of our trip. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the next videos that I put out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Until then, keep smiling.